Good morning, my loves. Happy Friday. We made it. Ah, what a week. It has been challenging to say the very least. It's been a stinker. But here we are. We survived. Time to celebrate. Lift yourself up, lift others up, those who have supported you, helped you through this, who we have helped. It is time to take a breath and give thanks. Last night, I was chatting with my friend Mary Jo. Now, I mention Mary Jo on occasion. I just adore Mary Jo. She's in Oklahoma. And so she's a Midwest girl too. So we get each other. And of all things, we were discussing prayer. Now, everybody prays in their own way and to their own higher power, and it is not for me to judge who you pray to, how you pray, and what you pray for. That's between you and your higher power. But here is what I pray for. Now, and this is just a Brenda thing. Y'all do you, I do me, okay? But I always ask that people, situations, connections, that do not serve my greatest good and higher purpose, that do not feed and nurture my soul, that are not blessings in my life, that they be removed from my life. I'm not saying God strike them dead. No, just remove them. If someone or something is not a blessing to my life, I don't want them in my life. I ask God for healing for myself and others, of course, for wisdom, for grace, compassion, empathy, sympathy, understanding that I'm not overly critical of myself and others, because boy, am I good at that. And I ask for clarity. I ask for clarity so that I see people and situations for what they truly are, not what I want them to be. And I think we're all guilty of this. We all put on rose-colored glasses with people, with situations, infatuation with people or with situations, the grass is always greener, that kind of thing. And I ask God to give me clarity so that I can see things and people, situations for what they really are. Yeah. And that can hurt. But if you ask for it and you get it, remember, you asked for it and God gave it to you. It's important to me to have a strong connection with my higher power. Everybody's different. Some people are agnostic, some people are atheist. It doesn't matter. Whatever. Like I said, honey, I want my ears itching. I want you to do you. Whatever works for you is what I want you to do. But that's what works for me. I like that connection. And I share that connection with a lot of people, including Mary Jo and a lot of others, that we have that in common. And I do pray for a lot of people I don't even know, including you. Seriously, I have no idea, absolutely no idea how many people are going to see this video. And if you go on YouTube and you see how many people look at it, that number is never accurate, because I'm getting text messages and DMs from a hell of a lot more people than are showing up on the little YouTube, this is how many saw the video. So I don't pay any attention to the YouTube numbers. But I pray for everybody. I do. That everybody receives healing and guidance and wisdom and clarity. I want you to be able to have discernment so that you're not fooled, so you're not fooling yourself. And that hurts. That is hard. And it happens to all of us. It does, that we have people in our lives that we put our faith in, that are supposedly our friends, that are maybe, you're in a relationship with, or a job or whatever, and you have been promised the sun, the moon, and the stars, or they swear up and down, I'm your friend, you bet, I got your back, girl. And they don't. They don't. There are people that pretend to be your friend and they're using you. In my case, many times people will portray themselves or try to be my friend because I'm a healer, and they will want healing from me. And I have been a healer since I was 3. I have always been a healer. I will always be a healer. And there's a lot of people that I heal. A lot of people, I have somebody that texts me just about, well, I would say 3 times a week. Can you please help me? Absolutely. So I do healing for a lot of people, but it does, I'm sorry, it just plain damn pisses me off when somebody says, yeah, I'm your friend, can you help me with this? And I do, and then they end up screwing you over. And, they're not really a friend. And you find out later that they're taking advantage of you. And that's just, it's on me. It's on me because I didn't want to see them for what I knew they were. That's why you pray for clarity. Before you make a big purchase, a car, before I got my car, I was car shopping, and I always pray for clarity. I was going to get an Audi. I fell in love with this. It was either an Audi or a Mercedes. I loved it. And I was praying for clarity. There was a catch to it. And they didn't tell me till I was getting ready to sign the paperwork. And it had what was it? A branded title. Yeah, there was something funky that was wrong with it, and the manufacturer took it back and fixed it. Yeah. So the insurance company wasn't going to look at it the same. Couldn't be insured. Like, yeah, no. That's why you ask for clarity. For when you apply for a job, pray for clarity that it's the job that you need. You don't act out of desperation. Relationships, pray for clarity that you don't act out of desperation. Because so often that's what we do. We're lonely. We want that connection. We want a relationship. So you bond. Sometimes it's trauma bonding, which is very dangerous. But pray for clarity. And when you receive that clarity, trust it. And it's hard because then you have the answer and then you got to do something about it, which is why I ask God to remove these people from my life, remove the situation. And it happens. So then when people start falling away from your life, when they're not calling anymore, when you're not running into them anymore, it's second nature to pick up the phone or text them and say, hey, what's up? I haven't heard from you in a while. Honey, you just asked God to remove these people from your life. When God takes the trash out, don't go dumpster diving. Let them go. Let them go. Absolutely. Because we deserve happiness. We deserve prosperity. We deserve success. And sometimes God's not going to allow that in our life as long as we have parasites and leeches and toxic people in our lives holding us back. That is why we ask for clarity. That is why I ask for God to remove these people from my life so they're not holding me back. And I'm not doing anything. I'm still being my kind, loving self. I'm just asking God to deal with it for me, and I trust Him always. So I have asked Him for a lot of favors this week, and He's come through time and time again. I have some people who are experiencing miracles. Thank you for that. Some big miracles. I can't name names, of course, but there is someone that was in a horrific accident that has been in the hospital for over 5 months in rehab. And yeah, they went home yesterday. This person's supposed to be paraplegic, I'm sorry. And they're starting to walk a little bit. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And I can't say that I've done anything special. Nothing anybody else can't do. We can all pray. It's just the power of prayer. We're all worthy of prayer. We're all worthy of good things. Celebrate today. And please, as we're lifting ourselves up and celebrating us, and this weekend I'm going for a mani-pedi. I deserve it. Might do a little shopping, maybe. And we're lifting others up, doing things for other people, buying friends flowers or plants or pet sitting or, going to lunch with a friend or whatever it is. Give thanks to the big guy upstairs. Seriously. There's a lot of things to go around, and just don't forget to give thanks to God. Because I'm worthy of thanks. You're worthy of thanks. Honey, so is He. Have a good Friday.